The bolo knife is one of the most recognisable blades from Southeast Asia. With its broad, heavy edge and practical design, it has long been used for agriculture, woodcutting and clearing jungle terrain. Yet like many tools that can double as a weapon, the bolo also gained a darker reputation. In the Philippines and other parts of Asia, it was not only a peasant's tool of survival, but also an instrument of execution and warfare. The bolo originated in the Philippines, where it became part of daily life for farmers, fishermen and villagers. Typically a bolo has a wide curved blade that broadens near the tip, giving it extra chopping power. This design made it highly effective for cutting sugarcane, coconuts and bamboo. The handle was often made from wood, horn or carabao bone, depending on local craftsmanship. Because every household had a bolo, it became a natural weapon in times of conflict. Unlike swords and spears, which were costly and often restricted to warriors or nobles, bolos were accessible to ordinary people. This gave the blade a special place in Filipino culture. It was both humble and deadly, practical and symbolic. During the Spanish colonial period, Filipino revolutionaries often turned their bolos into weapons of resistance. Against rifles and bayonets, the bolo may have seemed crude, but in close combat it was devastating. Peasant uprisings in the 18th and 19th centuries often relied on bolos as a primary weapon. In the late 19th century, during the Philippine Revolution against Spain and the Philippine-American War, the bolo gained international attention. Filipino fighters, many of them poorly armed, carried them into battle. American soldiers gave them the nickname Bolo Men. Even when firearms became widespread, it retained its place as a secondary weapon, particularly in jungle fighting, where ammunition was scarce and ambushes were common. The same qualities that made the bolo effective in farming and battle also made it an efficient execution tool. Its weight and sharp edge meant it could sever a head or limb in a single stroke, similar to a sword or axe. During the Spanish colonial era, rebels and criminals were sometimes executed with bolos, particularly in rural provinces where an executioner's sword or a guillotine was not available. The bolo became a practical alternative, wielded by local officials or soldiers tasked with carrying out justice. Later, during the Japanese occupation of the Philippines in World War II, bolo executions also took place. Filipino guerrillas used bolos in swift, silent killings of collaborators or captured enemies. Some accounts describe summary executions in which suspected traitors were also beheaded with a bolo. The blade's availability and effectiveness made it the weapon of choice in these circumstances. Its grim reputation was also cemented by its use in modern conflict. In some instances of mob justice and political killings during the 20th century, it was employed to execute opponents quickly and publicly. Despite its bloody associations, the bolo remains a respected cultural symbol in the Philippines. It represents the resilience of ordinary people who used whatever tools they could to resist foreign powers. Statues of revolutionary heroes, such as Andres Bonifacio, often depicted holding a bolo aloft, show how the blade became an emblem of national pride. At the same time, its connection to executions and death underscores the blurred line between tool and weapon. Like the axe or machete in other cultures, it was not invented for killing, but was easily adapted for it. Today, bolos are still common in rural areas of the Philippines, used for farming and daily tasks. They are also preserved in museums as part of the country's military and cultural history. For many Filipinos, the bolo is both a reminder of resistance and a symbol of justice, however harshly that justice was once carried out. So the bolo knife began as a farmer's tool, but became much more. In times of peace, it harvested crops and cleared forests. In times of war and rebellion, it became a weapon of defiance, and in times of judgment, it served as an executioner's blade, bringing death with brutal efficiency. Its story illustrates how everyday objects can acquire powerful symbolic meanings when adapted for violence. The bolo knife stands as a testament to the resilience of ordinary people, the harshness of colonial justice, and the thin line that separates survival from execution. Thanks for watching. To support our channel, please make sure to subscribe, and once again, thank you so much for watching.